I spent C++ was better than using any of those gaudy Unreal Maker engines. Oh boy, was I fucking stupid. Imager? Before C++. At the time, I was watching a bunch of Handmade Hero on YouTube to learn about engine development. I think this made me feel way too confident in my abilities, and so I decided to quit my job because I was so confident that I could finish the game in about 6 months. Or at least until May of 2022. Well, in case you're wondering, I didn't finish the game yet. Actually, I hope I will be able to finish the game by the end of 2023. If everything goes according to plan. How can this application be so dumb? It never... No, I don't want to deal with this right now. This is fucking crap! After the basics were done though, I had to start an engine rework. Because that's what you do when you program in C++. You have to constantly fix your old shit code, leaving barely any time to focus on gameplay, especially in the beginning when you are bad. This was the best time for me to start creating assets for the game to slowly remove placeholders. I actually thought that's gonna be easy, because I drew a lot as a kid, and so I thought I would just do it. Did I mention I had no knowledge about pixel art? I severely underestimated how difficult art can be. Sometimes it's even more difficult than regular art, because you can only place so many pixels. I was quite bummed out after seeing my first results. They were not even close to good. Reality started kicking in, and I realized that 6 months might not be enough time. There was a first glimpse of what it means to be a solo developer. Did I mention that I quit my job for this? It was a tough time because I felt like I was playing around while everyone else was going to work like a fucking gigachat. And here I was, sitting at home, creating kindergarten trees. This feeling is actually haunting me to this day, even if the game looks better now and I'm slowly earning money through Twitch. Call it toxic masculinity if you want, but not being able to support yourself as a man past the age of 30 just feels wrong. Whenever I finally have something visually pleasing. Attention. Whenever I have something visually pleasing! On the other hand, this feeling is good because it has pushed me forward. So, in order to get better at pixel art, I created a rule. I would draw at least one piece every day. Just like I did when I started learning C++. I started creating a top-down grassy tileset and reworked my first enemy. I also decided that I would draw enemies and heroes in a side view and not in top-down. I think it gives the heroes and enemies a lot more character than a top-down view ever could. Sadly, I don't have any recordings from that time anymore, but I will try my best to recollect what I did during that time. As the tileset was growing, I slowly removed the itch.io assets and replaced them with my own art. The skeleton became a defender with a shield, the random human archer became a nicely animated archer, and the healer became a reused defender with a staff instead of a shield. I also drew all buttons and UI menus myself and slowly rebuilt the game with a new look. I want to make it so that the options menu is now a drop-down menu, or not a drop-down, but like a pop-up. No, it's not a pop-up, but it's like a fuck! Then I started adding in game states, like being in the main menu, running the level, being game over, I also learned how to do Bezier curves and applied them to my waypoints to make the pathing of the enemies smooth like butter. I think at that point, the biggest hurdle for me was sound. Since I made the engine myself, I couldn't just load in sound files and play them. This is one of the downsides of making your own engine. I had to sit down and learn how to play and mix sounds. Setting up a sound buffer and playing a WAV file is actually not that difficult, but properly mixing sounds is a different story. So after this was done, I had a first version that I showed to my family so they could playtest and give me feedback. If you want some advice, let someone playtest your game as early as possible and just watch them, without giving any tips unless they're completely stuck. It gave me a completely new perspective on the game, and I could also measure how fun the game was depending on how quickly they stopped playing. The next couple of months went by like a breeze. I kept adding more and more pixel art. I also added a mage, a flying enemy, and a big guy enemy, and more importantly, I added up to 5 missions. After that, I started scripting events so that the player gets introduced to the menus and mechanics over time. As I said before, I only use C++, and that means I don't use a scripting language like Lua and whatnot. Usually, scripting languages allow for easier coding and quick iteration, because you can edit the code while the game is running and see the results. The downside is a hit to performance and the fact that 2 languages are being used together, which makes debugging harder. In my case, however, to iterate fast, I created emulator-like save states. Those are memory dumps of the entire state of the game into a file that I can load by pressing a button, effectively allowing to load my game instantly. So far, this has worked very well, because more than one means... I also added a bunch of skills to the game. For example, I added a buff, making attacks deal fire damage and burn the target for a portion of the damage dealt. The biggest problem was how I would store and load those skills. The most common solution in this case is using a file containing the information about different skills. That would also allow for more extensive modding in the future. I, however, didn't want to write a loading and saving routine because the structure and data might change while I develop the game. So I simply made a giant function and wrote code that handles the creation of skills. In the future, I might actually change this to allow modding for skills, but we'll see. The next big hurdle for my game was lighting, a problem that I'm still working on to this day. Apart from improving my pixel art, I needed to learn how engines, especially for 2 games, create lights and shadows. For example, ambient light can be done in many ways. You can multiply your game color by the ambient color, you can apply ambient masks to reduce certain color channels, or you could also apply LUT color grading, effectively blending between 2 colors based on the time of day. I'm sure there's more ways to do this, but finding proper resources is difficult, because most solutions revolve around the big engines. So implementing those in C++ becomes mostly trial and error, at least for me. LOL? Yeah! In the end, I decided to inspect Stardew Valley using a utility called Graphics Monitor from Intel. This is how I found out about the ambient mask approach, which is how I currently do my ambient color. I really like how my game looks, but it creates another problem. Enemies in the darkness are difficult to see, which is good, but abilities are darkened too, which is not what I want. So I plan on switching to LUT color grading in the future. It's more work to set up, but it will give me better control. Developing my game in C++ is certainly difficult, and oftentimes very slow. Especially common problems like sound and graphics take a lot of time to learn. A copy, I don't know how to explain that because it's starting to get fucking difficult! This engine overhead is a huge part of the development process, and it takes away from actually making the game. I would say it's about 50-50 between the two. The biggest upside though is ultimate freedom. I can implement anything I want, and I know the ins and outs of my engine. I couldn't say that about a commercial engine, of course. I also see this as a learning experience, like going to school, The knowledge that I acquire by making my own engine and game far overweight the downsides. Even if the initial part will be much slower compared to everyone else, in the end, what counts is a finished game. And in case the game fails, I can still apply for a job as an engine developer or game developer in C++. Funnily, I also noticed that using commercial engines became a lot easier. Simply because I now understand what most things mean. I hope you enjoyed this rant about my first year as a solo game developer. Currently, I'm holding myself above water by streaming and getting supported by my girlfriend who is working full time. But I hope to grow my YouTube and stream over time to release some of that pressure. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss future updates about the game. If you like what I do, consider tuning into my Twitch. I stream at 10 AM Central Eastern Time, which is 1 AM Pacific Daytime. I also want to thank all my Patreons for supporting me on this journey. Sule, Daniel Scorbo, Techbox North, Shrubtor, Michael Phillips, Felix F, and Meo Meo the Writer. Thank you very much. As a thank you of mine, Patreons get access to the source code of the game, and occasionally I post pixel art that can be used for free.